fun. Perfect. All right, guys. Well, I'm excited and truly honored to be able to host tonight's call. And I've seen some awesome success stories over the last 6-7 months in iMarkets Live. And I've been blessed enough to develop some relationships all throughout, this company and this industry. And for me, the idea of trading Forex and cryptocurrency is still almost foreign to me because I've bashed on it for so long. And I'll be fully transparent in saying that. And what I realize is that most people reject what they don't understand. And that's human nature. That's how our mind works. And I've started to realize that as you continue to explore, it doesn't mean everything's good, but as you continue to explore the other side, you start to realize there's some legitimacy to other people's perspectives. And tonight, what I want to challenge you to realize this, that if you're going to change the way you think, you need to change the questions you're asking yourself. And tonight, I want to introduce you to somebody who has changed some questions I've had to ask myself and given me some information to create concrete beliefs within trading. And I know that a lot of times, if you're new to this space, if you're new to this industry, you're going to have haters. You're going to have people say that Forex doesn't work, crypto trading doesn't work, trading commodities doesn't work. Here's the numbers. Here's the facts. Here are the facts. It's the world's largest financial market. People are getting rich. That's the fact. Okay, that's the facts. You want the numbers? That's the numbers. Now, the difference between those who are making money consistently, I call them professionals, they're paid in this profession, and amateurs who are basically gamblers, is the education and information that they have. It's the tools and resources they use, and it's the education they have. And so my goal here tonight is to step out of the way and to give you guys and bring to the forefront someone who is that, who's a professional, not only within the trading world, but also does build iMarkets Live. Someone who doesn't need his Platinum 5,000 going on chairman money in order to live an abundant life and travel the world. Someone who makes plenty trading, whose girl I see is now making plenty trading to be what I call not only self-sufficient, but a self-lifestyle trader. Someone who can live the life by design that they choose to from the comfort of wherever they want through their cell phone and through their computer, guys. So continue to realize this: the questions you ask yourself will determine the answers you receive. And so open up your mind tonight for an amazing friend of mine, Mr. Luke Longmire. He's a Platinum 5,000. I believe he's 75-7 in his Gold Rush chat. And this man has personally, I just tell you this, has personally given me and our organization more signals and helped me make more money than any single person in IML. So I'm fired up. Hope you guys are fired up. And without further ado, Mr. Gold Rush himself. Luke, did you make it on the call, brother?
Hey, what's up, guys? I appreciate you. First and foremost, thank you, Christian, for bringing me on here. This man is an absolute legend. I'm sure you guys all know. You work with him day in, day out. We met at ANP. Our energy clicked, our frequency clicked. That's just something I'm really, really big on, the laws, traction, frequency, vibration, everything. So you got a really great leader with him, absolutely killing the game. And I want to kind of talk to you guys a little bit, really briefly about, who I am, how did I come about this really quickly before we just jump into it. I used to be a general manager at a Gold's Gym here in Indianapolis where I live. Made 6 figures, corporate lifestyle, so to speak. And what I realized, in my previous venture, I've been doing network marketing for only about a year, going on a year and a half, almost a year and a half. In my first company, we got shut down in 6 months. The previous venture, whatnot, I was a full-time network marketer. I didn't care to learn how to trade. I didn't want to learn how to trade. I just wanted to take signals. I'll be straight with you guys, very transparent. What I learned is, I hit 6 figures in 90 days by building the comp plan. I was one of those guys, I treated it like a sign-up game, and I wanted to, put the system, so to speak, and all that into, my team and whatnot. What I realized after about 6 months is, I need to learn the skill. The company went away and, my check went away. And I kind of hit not a rough spot, but I was like, what if I actually learn this skill? You know, one thing, you know, be once again very transparent. I'm very real, and I'm very blunt. So if I hit a nerve or anything, you know, just know it's my personality. You know, and I started to learn how to trade. My opinion, you know, this is all my trading psychology. Everything we'll get into that is all about psychology. And when I say that, it's, you know, you have to be literally obsessed. In my opinion, to be great at anything, you got to eat, sleep, breathe it. You know, I have notes, you know, basically notepads full of back testing, you know, this pair, this time, right? London session, New York session, and trying to find my style, so to speak, right? Next thing I know, I started, you know, making really good money trading. And I opened up a Telegram for my team. Next thing you know, people were like, oh, you should, you know, share it to other IML. I'm like, cool, cool. I had really no aspiration to, you know, blow it up like I have. I just want to provide value. You know, I'm not sure if you guys know Terrell Wallace, but when I first started this journey, I studied all the big leaders, you know, Alex Morin, Jason Brown, Spielus Luga, all these big names that I knew, and I studied them. I studied their profiles. I studied how they engage, their videos, their Facebook Lives. And what I learned from them is offer free value. You know, free value, free value, free value. That will come back to you when you know, the energy does, right? So long story short, you know, I created the Telegram. Boom, my trading went off the rocker, so to speak. But I want to touch into the psychology. I'm sure you guys heard of it, you know, when it comes to trading. And this is not to, you know, tell you a different style. This is just my style of trading. I don't believe in Fibonacci's. I don't believe in MACD bands, all this indicators. To me, it doesn't make sense, right? So when you're trading, you have to kind of incorporate it to your own style. If you're very technical and you want, you know, you need to know how to cross the T's, dot the I's, Fibonacci's might be for you. To me, they make absolutely no sense, you know. So I don't want to harp on that too much, but what I do want to harp on is a trading plan, right? A trading plan is probably the most single-handedly important thing when it comes to trading. And it's going to cover three things, right? Your pair. So if that's gold, for me, it's gold and UJ and GJ. So I trade three pairs, primarily gold and UJ. But you have to have the currency pair that you're trying to master, you're going to master, right? The second thing is the time frame, right? What time are you trading? And then probably, you know, right up there with importance is a pip goal, right? For me, it's 50 pips. So we'll get into actual couple strategies that I use. But the pip goal is so important, right? Anything you get over, for me, anything I get over more than 50 pips, that's cool, right? But my daily goal is 50 pips. I'm not the person trying to catch 200-300 pips. That's not my style. You know, when you catch a lot of those pips, there's a lot of room for error. On top of that, I'm a firm believer in rinse and repeat, right? So I'm not a swing trader. I'm not a scalper. I basically get in the trade. Within 12 hours, I'm out of the trade, right? I get in, I get out, I move on within a day. I trade one pair, one time, one setup, right? This is my thinking, my psychology, right? So it doesn't make sense to take 2, 3, 4, 5 trades on different pairs. It just doesn't make sense to me. Get your 50 pips in and get out, right? Move on to the next day. So that's kind of my mindset behind it. But the trading plan is so key. It's like a football play, right? I'm big with analogy. So if I'm a quarterback, right, and I call a play, right, there's a design play to get a touchdown, design play to get a first down, right? They don't just hike the ball and run for a pass, right? They don't just hike the ball and run the ball. They have a design play to execute, right? So you should never be jumping in, you know, mid trade. You should never not know your take profit, your stop loss, or how much you're risking, right? You know, never risk more than 5%. Once you get a strategy down pat and you can prove consistently, you know, at least 6 months, maybe bump up 10%. But as a beginner, I'm sure most of you guys are beginners, never risk more than 5%. Right? It's going to do more harm than good. You're going to, you know, make bad habits out of what you're already doing. You want to, you know, fine tune what you're doing. I'm so big on systems. I'm so big on structure, and not just trading, just in life. And what I mean by that is the way I trade, and you guys will see here in a second, is I do the exact same thing every day, right? I have 3 rules to my strategy, and I don't alter from those rules, right? Same thing when I wake up. I wake up, right? I go to the bathroom, I brush my teeth, I take a shower, and I read personal development. Every single day is like that, right? There's no, if I don't do one of those 4 things, my day is off, right? I feel weird, right? Because I didn't brush my teeth, or, I didn't listen to my personal development, or whatever it is, right? So every day is the exact same thing. Same thing, and that rolls over to my trading. Right, every single day I gotta do the exact same thing. I see the setup, I wait for the setup, right? I wait for price to do what I'm looking for, and I execute, right? And I know Christian said you guys are fairly new, and I'm here to kind of not blow your mind, but show you trading is very, very simple, right? I see price. I know what I want price to do. It does what I want to do, and I hit buy or sell based off of what it does, right? Trading, the hard part is your mind, right? And this is why I feel like I'm very good at trading, is because I've mastered my psychology. I used to bodybuild. So if I know I'm not supposed to eat this pizza, right, and I eat the pizza, I went outside my rules. Right? So if you guys don't know what macronutrients are, but I track my macros, my proteins, my carbs, my fats. So if I go over on my carbs, that is outside of my program. Same thing with this, right? You have to have that unattachable to money, right? And you can't be attached to it in the sense of, you love it so much. And when I first started, I had the opposite effect. I've never blown an account. I've never really over leveraged. I like money so much that I would always under leverage, right? So I had a love to money that I didn't want to lose it, where other people love money, they want more, right? I'm a more conservative trader. I've never gambled in my life when it comes to, Las Vegas, all that. So I'm very calculated. And trading less is more. The way I break down trading is kind of like money's all over the ground. Right? And lava is everywhere. Every time you enter, whether it's me or a person that's 99.9% accurate, every time you enter the market is risk, no matter if it's the perfect setup, right? So with that being said, right, less is more. If I can trade 3 or 4 times a week and clear 25 to 50% for the week, that's golden, right? People will get caught up in trading 5-6 times a day, right? They hit their 20%, their 10%, even their 5% for the day, and they can keep trading. Now they hit their 20%, they lost their 20%, they trade again to get back that 20%, now they're down 20%. That's a 40% swing, right? So have that in mind, less is more. You have to train your mind that it's one of the things that's the hardest when I tell my students is, 1 trade a day. Well, what about this? No, 1 trade a day. Right? If you can get 5% per day, that might not seem a lot, but 5% per day is 25% per week. 25% per week is 100% per month, right? You throw in a couple losses there, you hit 25% per week. That is really, really good, right? So I'm sure you've been on IML TV, and all that. I could harp on psychology all day, but I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the strategy. It's very, very simple, and it might blow your mind how easy it is. Can you guys see? Give me a thumbs up. Cool. So we'll delete the EMA. I use it to ride trend. I don't use it for really analysis. But so I'm always on the 1 hour chart, right? I'm intraday. I never swing. I don't have patience to be a swing trader, and I don't have the attention span to watch price and scalp. And it's funny. I hate trading. Trading is so boring. I'm a people person. I like talking to people. I want to, see how it, what makes them tick, figure out their goals in life, and all of that. That's why I love, relationships and talking to people. Trading's boring. Price goes from here to here, right? Goes here to here, goes up, goes down. Cool. You can make a lot of money, but my whole perspective on trading is kind of set it and forget it. I don't want to be at my charts all day. I don't want to stare at my screen for 2-3 hours. That's just not my personality, right? Some people love trading, more power to you. That's awesome, right? So if you want to scout with this strategy, you can. You can swing maybe a little bit with this strategy as well. But I'll show you a couple different styles. The first one is, and they all kind of coexist, right? This one is pretty simple. I know we got some beginners on here. I'm gonna throw out a couple terminology out here. So we're on the 4 hour chart. one of my favorite things is I call it ping pong. All right. What I do is I go to the line chart. So I'm on the 4-hour chart. All right. I go to the line chart. All right. And I'll go to essentially the sharp points. All right. That's a strong zone. All right. You got 2 touches here, maybe a 3rd touch here when you hit the candlesticks. Obviously, price over here. What I like to do is find a doji. All right. So for instance, right, we go back to the line chart. We got kind of a sharp point up here. All right. So for instance, I didn't call this in my Telegram, but I did take this trade today. All right. So I find dojis. What is a doji? A doji is a spinning top. There's different names for it, but essentially this is a doji. All right. Small body with a big wick. All right. Here again, small body, wick. All right. So the 4-hour zone, right, is very strong. The higher the time frame, the stronger the zone. So what I like to do is find the sharp points, right, between these 3 pairs. And what I'll find is a doji. And as simple as this, right, I'll sell it after the doji closes. I never enter, right, when the candle has not closed, right? So for instance, this candle closed. This is like as guaranteed in Forex as it comes, right? Nothing is ever guaranteed in Forex, but right, I would sell this, boom, right? 26 pips, right? Doji here, all right? This is a little bit bigger of a move, 60 pips, right? We go down here, smaller sharp point. Right, the stronger the time frame, the stronger the candlestick as well. All right, this is a kind of a half-ish. I mean, it's a doji across. Some people call it that, but there's added confirmation here. More confirmations, the better. I got taught through my team YOB. So I'm not sure what IML calls. 3 wicks to one side. This is what I call a vector. Right? So right here, I got a doji. Right here, I got a doji and 3 wicks to one side, right? So this is what I call ping pong, right? Ping ponging. So right here, it's going from zone to zone, right? Zone to zone. Notice this is support down here. So we'll do this example right here. Doji right here, right? Candle closes. It's on a 4-hour. Boom. Instant drop, 35 pips with maybe 2 pip drawdown. All right, 2 pip drawdown. Same thing here. Doji right here. I enter, right? We'll enter on the top because that's where the candle closes. We got a 4 pip drawdown. All right, 50 pips. All right, let's do a couple more examples and we'll get into gold. All right, boom, boom. What do we got here? Sharp point. A little bit bigger of a doji right here. Boom. Maybe 2 pips and drawdown plus spread. All right. I would probably take profit right here. Zone to zone. Zone to zone. You can take profit here, 38 pips, right? Put your stop loss in profit, right? 75 pips, right? So rule 1 is go to your line chart, right? Systems do not fail. People fail all the time, but systems do not fail. Remember that, right? And when that comes to network marketing, building, trading, you're counting your macros, your calories, whatever, right? So let me get back here. Cool. So rule 1, we'll get to the chat box here in a second. Rule 1, line chart, right? Rule 2 is put your zones, right? Say price is right here, right? Nothing to the right of this is here, right? We'll go to the candlesticks, we find a doji, we wait for the doji to close, and we sell it to the next zone, right? Where is the next zone? All we have to do is go to our candlesticks or our line chart. Boom, boom. Got 2 touches here, more touches the better, right? And maybe take profit 2 right there. But what I always do is I always do 2 positions no matter what, right? So this is kind of maybe a little intermediate. But you can definitely take notes on this and apply it later if not now. right? I always do 2 positions. That does not mean over leverage, right? So if you're doing 10 cents, right, 0.1, that means 0.05, 0.05 at the same position, right? So right here, I'd put 2 positions right here, 0.05, 0.05. First take profit, I would drop it to right here, right, 25 pips. Stop loss and profit, right? This is the key. Stop loss and profit once your first take profit is hit, right? 2 positions does not mean over leverage. It means split up that whole position, right? Once your first take profit is hit, put your stop loss and profit, 2 pips, 5 pips. The goal is not to catch pips with the stop loss. The goal is to secure profit so you don't lose, right? So my goal right here is to hit 29 pips. Second take profit down here at 52, because remember, everything to the right of this is not here. So I'm basing this off here and more wicks over here. All right, we'll get to the questions. Taking notes. This is amazing. Does it matter if the candle closes bearish? Not really. No, I just go basically straight off the doji, whether it's bullish or bearish, as long as, so for like here, as long as the zone is here and it closes below. So I'm looking for a sell. Obviously, if it's right here, that would be a buy. It would be a push. It would be a break and retest, right? So here it'd be a rejection. So the way I break it down, and this is supply and demand. This is how I trade, supply and demand. Essentially, with supply and demand zones, it's going to do 2 things. 1 or 2 things. One is going to hit a zone and reject, right? Or it's going to break and retest. It's going to do one or the other, right? So if you're in my Telegram, I said I missed this last night. I should have, or sorry, a few nights ago over here, right? So last night, I said there would be some action on UJ, right? Boom, what did it do, right? It did a doji right here, and then it dropped, right? So that's where I look for the dojis. This is how Chris and Luke will trade. Yeah, definitely. Joe, Christian, or I can get the Telegram too after. Does anyone have any questions over this before I get into the gold strategy? Get back here.
Why do you put the zone where it is on this top line? Like, what are you basing that off of?
Do that later. It's not always a sell. It depends on which side. So, for instance, if price is going up, right, to a resistance. So if you're going to be selling off resistance, right, the ceiling, right, resistance will be the ceiling, the top zone, and you'll be buying off the support, right? But it has to be able to reject it. So where the rejection is, right? For instance, here, it never breaks, right? Let's find some more dojis, right? Here's a doji right here, right? It never broke. It hits here, rejects, comes up here, right? Double bottom and goes up, right? So it's a buy off of support, sell off of resistance. Does that answer your question, Jackson? So this is what I call the ping pong, right? You're going from zone to zone, zone to zone. Yeah, so you're going to sell, right? Sell off support, right? Or sorry, yes, sell off resistance, and buy off support. If you put only one entry, yeah, Chris, you can do that. Take partial profits on one entry. If you want to do that, that's definitely it's kind of the same thing. I just like the two entries. It's just, I don't know. It's kind of like people always ask me, why don't I use TradingView? I just never have used TradingView. I've always been MT4, but that works perfectly as well. Yeah, so buy off support, sell off resistance, right? Buy. I think I answered that. Cool. All right, now we're going to get into the gold. If nothing, no other questions? All right, cool. So we'll go to gold. we'll take this off for a second. I use the EMA to ride trend. I don't use it for confirmation. So I'm going to show you. This is going to be fun. I love teaching this. So let's go back in history. We're going to do like 20 examples. All right. So watch this. All right, so I have my period separators on. If you don't have your period separators on, definitely put them on. So how you do that, right click, properties, you're gonna go to common and show period separator right here, right? So essentially what this does, it goes from 5 to 5, 5 to 5, right? Markets open 5 p.m. Eastern, close on 5 p.m. Eastern on Friday, right? Sunday to Friday, 5 to 5, 5 to 5, right? So I'm going to show you what gold does and why I like it so much, and then I'm going to show you how to mark it up, right? So end of the day, so this is going to be my my template, right? My trading plan for gold, right? So rule 1 on the trading plan. So you got rules for the strategy, rules for the trading plan, separate, 3 and 3, right? So rule 1 for the trading plan is wait for the day to end, right? Wait for the day to end. That's simple, right? So that'll be 5, 6 p.m. Eastern, all Eastern time. So depending on where you live, kind of convert that, right? So wait for the day to end, right? Rule 2 is block off consolidation, right? So for instance here, as you see, price is going up, right? So here's the period separator. I'm going to block off consolidation right through here, right? Me personally, I don't ever go against trend, so I'm always blocking off on the one side, right? I do block off on the bottom, but I get like some sniper entries. I wouldn't recommend that. I would recommend going with trend in the beginning, right? Because I know we got some beginners on here. So you're going with trend, right? So price really quickly basically goes one of 3 ways. It's going to go sideways, it's going to go up, or it's going to go down. You can call it bullish, bearish. I just say up and down and keep it simple, right? So for instance, right, we're right here, the day ends, right? Price is going to have to break to the upside, right? I'm looking for price to break to the upside. Why? Because price is going up, right? So it's going to do 1 of 2 things at the support. So let's make it a little bit more live. So we got price right here. Right, as you see, right, it comes up, it tests it, it rejects it, comes back up, tests it. We're looking for either it's going to reject and continue the bottom, or it's going to break and retest. So what's it do? It breaks, right? Breaks and retest, right? Goes for about 200 pips, all right? This is a little bit more intermediate here, not kind of. All right, my first position is on the break, right? Second position is on the retest, all right? So trading, we'll just make it simple. We're trading 10 cents, 0.1, 0.05, 0.05, right? 0.05, 0.05. So for instance here, right, you can put a buy limit here. I'm not really big on pending orders. I hate pending orders. I'm all price action, right? I like to manually enter my trades, right? So if you want to put a buy limit, it definitely works. Or you can just wait for price to touch the line and so forth, right? So right here, break, retest, goes for 100 pips, right? And remember what I said earlier about doing the exact same thing every day, right? Watch this. Uh-oh, consolidation, right? What's it do? I block off consolidation. It's called breakout trading. In my opinion, remember this is my opinion, my psychology. All right, this is how this is the golden ticket on how to trade. Right, a lot of you can use trend line breaks, yada yada. But breakout trading, this is how banks trade. Right, this is how the big boys trade. Right, because you're catching essentially the whole daily candle with this. Right, so watch this. Break 0.05, retest 0.05, right? And it drops for 130 pips, right? First take profit gets hit at 50, roughly right there. Stop loss and profit once first one gets hit, and we let the second ride. I never hold my trades for the next day. It's just I'm not a swing trader. If you got the patience and all that, you know, definitely do so, right? I just don't have the patience, right? So we'll go a little bit. Oh shoot, what is that? So let's do a few examples in a row, right? Does anyone have any questions so far?
Someone did ask the question.
Appreciate you, but you lost me here. Okay, so let me yeah, I'm always on the 1 hour time frame, Chris. So Jackson, right? So rule 1 is wait for the dotted line to appear. Right? This is a period separator. Rule 2 is put a support and resistance around the consolidation. At the end of the day, start of the new day, right? This is the consolidation. This is what I call the gas station. For price to move, right? It's gotta consolidate a little bit. It's gotta grab liquidity. It's gotta grab money, right? It can't just, you know, if price just went all the way up, you know, everybody would make money. If price went all the way down, everybody would make money, right? It's gotta consolidate a little bit, grab liquidity. On top of that, this is like 2 p.m. to like 6, 7 p.m., right? This is when the market's, you know, dead, so to speak, right? So for instance, we block this off. It's going to do one or two things. It's going to break to the downside. I'm going to sell it, right? Downside, I'm going to sell it, or it's going to break to the upside. I'm going to buy it, right? There's nothing more to the strategy, right? If it breaks support, right, I sell it. If it breaks resistance, I buy it, right? So we'll kind of make this a little bit cleaner just for example's sake. Maybe. There we go. All right. So what's it do? This is not a clear break. I'm looking for a 15 pip break, give or take. Right. So what's it do? It breaks 0.05, retest 0.05, goes for essentially 200 pips. All right. So what do we do the next day? We do the same thing. Period separation shows up. Boom, we got resistance. Let's see if it breaks, or it's going to break this support. All right, double top, touch, boom, boom, right? Break, retest, goes for about 60, 55, 60 pips, right? Stop loss and profit, right? So you move your stop loss. This isn't the stop loss, but say your stop loss is, I don't know, right here, right? You'll move it slightly in profit. Next thing you know, right, your stop loss gets hit in profit. You secured your 50 pips. That's still a question.
Someone just said this is crazy.
Right? So take a guess. What do we do the next day? We do the same thing. All right, this is the closest support. This is the closest resistance. This is a big candle. All right, so boom, boom. What's price do? Consolidates. Ooh, break, retest. Stupid easy, right? Sundays, I would keep it that way until you get a little more experience. I only enter Sundays if it's stupid sexy, right? So notice it goes from 23 to 26, right? So we don't trade Sundays. Market has to grab liquidity. It's got to grab gas for it to move, right? So what do we do here? And this is why I enter off the break. You know, I'm sure a lot of people have taught you only enter off the retest. I'm here to tell you don't just do that, but to do that and the break, right? So what's it do here? A double top, right? An M, whatever you want to call it. People call it different things. All right, boom, boom, break, drops for 80 pips, right? And this is very important. Why do we enter off the hour? Because these wicks, right? You can get faked out very easily off of 15. So you should never, ever, ever be entering at, you know, what time is it now? My time, 10:37, right? Or 9:48 or 6:34, right? You should be entering at 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the break. On the retest, it can retest whenever, right? Because usually it's a wick retest. Sometimes it plays around, right? So we're what, 5-0, 6-0, something like that. the 7 times you used this strategy and didn't work was becoming fundamentals. I used to honestly beat myself up. Why? Like last night, right? I lost. And I woke up this morning. I was annoyed. It was a beautiful setup. And I just lost. I don't know how I lost. I just did. So I quit kind of trying to figure out how to perfect the strategy. There's just, you can't be 100%. It is what it is. So it's an L. I take the L and I move on. It's just part of the game. It's like baseball, except, instead of batting 300, we're batting 900. At the beginning, your stop loss is over or under the consolidation? Yeah, good question, Chris. I always use 50 to 75 pip stop loss. So we won't go into that. Yeah, 50 to 75 pips. Let's see, what does it? Does the break of the stop loss? Wait, does the break of the support resistance need to be sharp? If the break is slow, no. Once it breaks and the candle closes, this is probably the most important thing, is wait for the hour to close, right? Trading pairs is like dating a girl, right? Each pair has a different personality, right? You have to understand. I've been trading gold for almost 2 years now. I mean, basically the whole time I've traded.
Not you.
Huh?
Not you.
Well, quit talking. So trading pairs, you have to understand, each has different psychology. Gold just does what it wants. It drops or goes up, right? There's not much retracing, right? This is a full bear. Basically, everything's bear, right? This is all bear, right? For the majority, this is all, there's some bear, but most of this is all bullish. Most all bullish, right? So this is very important. 2 things here, right? These are dojis, meaning reversal. And remember that little rule I said about a 15 pip break? This is about a 7, we'll even say 10 pips, right? So that's not a break, right? And to get a little technical, I use zones. I don't want to teach that terminology, teach a dog new tricks. I use zones, right? In my opinion, there's no such thing as support resistance. It's like a belly button, right? The stronger the zone, the stronger the push it can go in without breaking, right? But I want to keep it simple. If you've been using support and resistance, keep it that way. Don't confuse yourself, right? So what's gold do here? It plays around for a minute. Very annoying. I'm up late, right? Breaks, retest. There's our friend Doji, right? It broke and retested, right? So broke and retest is like an instant buy or sell depending on which way it breaks, right? So what's it do? It breaks right here. I mean, technically you can get in here, 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 here. Doesn't matter. We'll even say here, right? 150 pips, right? So we're 6-0, 7-0, something like that. Here's our, I don't know, and I don't know why. I don't try to figure out why, but this is just a loss, right? So what's it do? It breaks. I buy it, right? Our stop loss gets hit at 66 pips, right? Unless, and I want to make this like a huge, huge, huge disclaimer, right? Huge disclaimer. I personally do not use stop losses. I am my stop loss, but I have very, very, very good risk management, right? So always use a stop loss. If you're under a year trading, right, I would always recommend a stop loss. I just don't use them because I know how brokers work, right? Most of my trades, I'm 75-7 or something like that. 75-8, I think 75-7. For those trades, I would have won if I did not, or by the signal it lost, right? Because I always use a 50 pip stop loss. But they would have won because I went about 75. So for instance, right here, it breaks. I mean, we could just say right here, and it goes 66 pips and drawdown, right?
Hey, Luke, for me, it's zoomed in. The screen zoomed in for me on the screen share.
Okay, just leave it alone. Okay. All right, let me try it again. We good?
It's perfect. Thank you.
All right, cool. No problem. So if we go on to the next day, so we're like 7-1, 6-1, 8-1, something like that, right? So this is the closest support. This is the closest resistance. So what's it do? Break, 0.05, 0.05, goes for 150 pips, right? Next day, same thing. You can put your resistance right there. support right there. This is the play zone. This is the gas station, so to speak. All right, break, retest. Don't freak out. Price kind of does what it wants sometimes. All right, so you got what, 18 pip drawdown. That's completely fine. Goes for 100. All right. Next day, exact same thing. Boom, boom. All right, we're doing the same thing every day. So this is why it's so successful, is because you're going to get better if you do the same thing over and over. It's repetition. All right, break, retest. This bad boy goes for 130. All right, just kind of speed it up just to show you the consistency with it. All right, boom, boom. Here's just, I don't think this is intermediate, but look at this little itty bitty shoulder. All right, big head, itty bitty shoulder, head and shoulders, right? Plus it breaks, added confirmation, goes for 80 pips, 70 pips, something like that. All right, I don't trade NFP week. As you see, this is the first week. If you're familiar with trading and whatnot, it's called NFP week. NFP day is Friday, the first Friday of the month. First Friday of the month. And NFP week is the first week of the month. So I pretty much kind of stay away from that unless it's just pretty. I'm opening up a trading account for my mom and dad, and they're going to trade gold now. That's lit. That's lit. So trade gold from 1 to 5 p.m. Everything I've been talking about is Eastern. So it's basically from 5 p.m. to like 9 p.m., give or take. Right? So we'll go to today. All right. Consolidation. I don't even know what I was doing. I was busy. I think I was at the gym or something. All right. It drops. It breaks. Sell right here. Goes for 40 pips. Right. My take profit essentially basically got hit right there. Depending on where I entered. Right. I just missed the move. It is what it is. I'm not going to chase this trade. Last night was a loss. So I'll show you what happened last night. It's just one of those losses. I don't understand it. I don't try to understand it. Boom, boom. So I entered right here. And as you see, I entered right here. It came back here, dojied, and it just didn't go up. I was expecting to go right up here at 50-some pips, right? And just tanked, right? I was like, what could I have done different? I don't know. It's just part of the game, right? So that's pretty much gold. Do you guys have any questions? It's stupid easy. So you don't need the retest for confirmation. No, that's where I do 2 positions, Brandon. So one on the break, right? Second on the retest. So 2 positions, because a few of the examples I showed you don't always retest. And just to show you maybe some more. I'm rich, man. Yeah, just and as successful as the strategy is, like I get some crazy not results, but testimonies, right? This one guy, right? I mean, we're on a kind of a private Zoom, but this one guy, he's a professional trader. He took one of my signals, and he made 80,000 on a trade, right? 80,000, right? 200 lots, 300 lots, something like that. But what I'm getting at is just because a strategy is very successful, you can, right? You can lose a lot of money if you are margining out or you're risking, you're trying to flip your account, right? Don't come in here with that mindset. Come in here with a mindset of long-term wealth, long-term success, right? Same thing here, right? Day ends, what's it do? It breaks, comes back and retest, 200 pips, 250, right? So come in the mindset with, you'll get good results, but have the patience for it, right? You can easily double your account in a month with this strategy, right? Just don't get greedy. Have that long-term vision, right? What I like to do is make a spreadsheet, right? 5% per day, right? If you take a calculator and start out with $200 account times 1.5, right? Which is 50% per month, right? Do that for 12 months. You're in a high 5-figure account size.
Hey, can you draw up today, Luke? Can you draw up what we're looking at like live right now? Kind of what you're going to be looking at over the next 24, 48 hours?
Yeah. So right here, this is the consolidation. Right there. So I missed the move on the break right here. I forgot. I don't know. I was at the gym or something, and I'm looking for a retest. and then come back down here to the bottom to create a double bottom right here. So about 12 more minutes, right? This could be a doji right here, as you see. Let's exit out of this. So look at this doji here and right here. So if this closes above, what I'm expecting is for a retest and then continue to make this move. So I'll draw a little line here. I'm looking for a retest and then a drop, right? To create that double bottom, right? The W, boom, boom, boom. All right, so that's kind of what I'm looking for now. But what I'm going to be looking for is a reversal candle here, right? A railroad, a doji, spinning top, you know, whatever you want to call it, a cross, a reversal candle. Just for some added not value, but added help to understand candles, what I would recommend a book called Naked Forex. That book really changed it's almost like a paradigm shift on learning how to trade, because what I got confused was, you know, and still to this day, when people send me like screenshots of their charts and whatnot, they got this trend line, they got the MACDs, they got Fibonacci's here, they got the RSI. I'm like, bro, I don't even know what I'm looking at, because you got all these lines, right? Understand how to read price. You won't have to understand you won't have to have any indicators, right? As you see, I don't use any. I use the 14 EMA. I'll show you guys real quick to ride trend. Right, I don't use it for my to analyze. Right, the 14 EMA close. Right, I don't use it for, you know, to for example, right. Say I got in this trade right here. I would literally just ride it all the way up. Right, as long as it doesn't break the EMA. So technically, you know, you could ride it all the way up to here, and then finally it breaks roughly right there. The author, that's a good question. I'm not sure. It's a red and white book. It's Naked Forex. You can get I think you can get the book or the PDF. Jackson silver. I've never traded silver. Honestly, like people, I want to say make fun of me, but like I don't use TradingView. I've never traded, you know, EU. I've never traded, you know, GU, GA, EJ. I've never traded all these pairs. I've traded UJ, gold, and GJ. Understanding how those pairs work, I've never traded it, so I'm not comfortable with trading because I've never traded. It's just EU just to me moves so slow. GBP pairs, I'm not up usually during London. You know, now I am a little bit because I'm catching the whole daily candle with gold, but I just never traded it. Good questions. Yes, Melissa, that's the guy. I knew it was some weird, crazy name. I know Walter Peters, but I was thinking of Alex's last name, Necrin. Yeah, so what I would recommend, guys, is two things. Go and backtest this, right? Go and backtest this. Obviously, I showed you, you know, 20 examples, whatever, lost a couple times, maybe one time. But you guys go back and do this and do exactly this, right? So for instance, we'll go pick a couple months, right? So we're in May, right? Go from skip NFP week, right? Skip NFP week, all right? Go to a couple days, right? And we're going to go say we're going to start on the 11th, right? Put your support, right? Put your resistance. We'll put probably right there, right? What do we have? A shoulder, head, shoulder. What does it do? It breaks, right? So we sell it. And what I'm going to write here is 220 pips. Also, I'm going to write the drawdown. Granted, this has no drawdown, right? So let me go to an example where it's pretty clean cut so I can show you. So we'll do this example that I showed you before, right? Boom, boom, right? So what I'm going to write here, if I had it in front of me, I would show you, but basically a notebook. I got a couple notebooks just full of a couple years, literally a couple years, right? So I would break. I would sell it right here. I would write the drawdown of 11 pips. I would draw the whole take profit of 142. So I have the date, right? I would encourage you put what day as well. That we can cross-reference what days are heavy hitters, so to speak, because you'll notice Sunday and Monday are the less moving days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are the big moving days, right? So write 11 pip drawdown, 12 pip drawdown, 140 pip take profit, right? You go the next day, you do the exact same thing. Repetition's key, right? Steph Curry, why is he such a good free throw shooter? Well, because he takes, 1,000 free throws a day. Same thing with this. You back test this for a couple months, 6 months, a year, you're going to get better. So what you put into this is what you're going to get out of it. So definitely recommend at least a few months back test, put in a few hours. If you're busy, you got kids, block off, wake up an hour early, go to bed an hour late, sacrifice that time because that's what it's going to take to be consistent. There's amazing traders in IML, they all put in that work. If you want to be a master at something, you got to put in that 10,000 hours, you got to be obsessed, I promise you it's worth it. Network marketing is insane, guys. Network marketing, residual income, but in my opinion, trading is just one level above because I know I can enter the market at any time and more or less pull any kind of money out because I've mastered this skill. Am I going to lose a few times? Yeah, it's just part of the game, but I've mastered a skill that I can teach for generations, long-term wealth, not just rich, but wealth. I can teach my kids this. I can teach you guys this. I can, do many things with this. So have that long-term vision, and really put in the work, back test, study, chart time, right? That'll help you and it'll go tenfold. So what you put into this, trust me, what you get out of it. You treat this like a business, you'll get paid like a business. You treat this like a hobby, you get paid like a hobby. Got one more question. EU, I don't really mess with EU, Christopher. UJ, yes. UJ and gold, this works really, really well. Off the hour and the 4 hour. But EU, I don't really mess with. UJ and gold, this works like butter.
Hey, would you say it's safe to say they're inverses?
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I made the mistake of kind of using my analysis off UJ to go with so if I think UJ is going to go down, right, gold's going to go up. But don't use that as confirmation, but they always go hand in hand. That's why I always trade it. So for instance, let's go off that doji last night or this today. All right, so UJ dropped. Right now it's looking to come up to do a double top, right? Vice versa. Do the 1 hour. All right, gold's consolidating, going down, right? And I got 5 minutes left. This could be a doji, meaning reversal. But yeah, they go hand in hand. One goes up, one goes down. So they vice versa, they flip flop. But don't base your analysis on that. Do your regular analysis with it, and then that's just kind of added confirmation. But really good question. Anybody else got anything for me? It's very simple. It's very easy. One of the biggest reasons why I think this strategy is so good and it works so well is because it takes all the discretion away. It takes what you think is going to happen. People tell me, all the time, what do you think this is going to do? What do you think this pair is going to do? I have no idea, right? I find consolidation. I block off consolidation. I enter off consolidation, right? Off the break, off the hour, right? So with this strategy, right, you block off consolidation. You wait for the hour to break to the upside or break to the downside. There is no discretion on, the RSI and it's divergent or, I can't go into Fibonacci because I've never used them, but, I probably could use an analogy for Fibonacci too. But my point is that there's no discretion. You can't just base this off what you think because it's just concrete evidence. It either breaks to the upside, breaks to the downside, and you enter off that, right? It's that simple. You stick to the 3 rules, you'll win, I'll even lowball at 70, 80%. If you can win 70, 80%, that is amazing, right? You get into the 90%, it's crazy, right? Anybody got anything for me? Questions, psychology, books? Third rule is wait for the break. He said nothing less than 90. Yeah, I think I'm at 93%. So we're almost under. So your support and resistance based off the consolidations. Yeah. So Jordan, rule 1, just to reiterate. Right, we'll do. Are we on UJ or gold? This is UJ. So we'll go back to gold. right? So for instance, we'll do the 9th here, right? So right, yeah, this is an 80 pip move, right? So what I do here, this is the consolidation, right, for the day before, all right? This is the break, right? We'll complete the support resistance. This is the consolidation. It consolidated for a whole day, right? Boom, 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 played around, ping pong for a minute, right? Broke, right? So rule 1 is wait for the period separator to appear, the day to end, right? 5 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Eastern, whatever, right? So that's rule 1. Rule 2 is block it off, all right? Support resistance, corner price in a sense of it's got to bust a move, right? It's got to go one way or the other. So that's rule 2. Rule 3 is enter off the break of the hour close. Make sure that's very important. Hour close. All right. So right here, it breaks. Yep, 80 pips. I never retested. I would just leave the one position and don't wait for it to, if it doesn't retest, it doesn't retest, right? It's just part of the game. Don't chase it, right? Don't buy it up here, right? Because you buy it up here or even here, right, you're suffering more drawdown. 25 pips to retest plus another 25 pips to get in drawdown, your stop loss gets hit. Lunch on me. Dope. Steak dinners then, Joe. Steak and shrimp, lobster, was that surf and turf? There we go. Yeah, definitely. I would encourage everyone, whether you're a trader, builder, both, get to SOAR, get to convention. There's going to be IML TV live, so you learn from, other traders on the platform and whatnot in person. So, that really changed the game for me. And, I'm sure Christians, said it many times, get to convention. It'll help you in so many ways, your belief, your confidence, everything. Surf and turf ticket. Alrighty, guys, I think I got through the questions. I went over the 3 rules again. Dope. Yeah, that snapback strategy. I just don't trade crypto anymore. But yeah, that strategy is dope too. And if you like trading, check out my snapback strategy on IML TV. You got to sit down for a couple hours and actually do it, but it's pretty sick too. Alrighty, guys. Well, I appreciate you, showing your interest in trading. Not only that, but investing in yourself. And I'm gonna give it back to Christian. You there?
Yes, sir. Dude, man, I appreciate you. And dude, I'm excited. I'm excited because it's the same thing that we talked about last night on your team's call. And it was just that the reason why most people don't build massively in network marketing is they don't have the clarity. They don't know what to do. And so I did that call for your team last night. And I think the same works for trading, is that most people, they just don't know what to do. They don't know the rules. They don't know proper risk management. They don't know what to do. And they see MACD and they see fibs and they see these crazy markups in these charts. And it just looks like an alien came down and spit on their computer. And they're like, I don't know what to do. And so I love having you on our team calls. And I love and appreciate that you weren't like, 30 minutes and out. You were here answering questions. You were invested. And I really appreciate it, bro. So guys, get to convention. Build a relationship. Luke and I connected, human connection, energy to energy, person to person. And that's how we made the relationship. And that's what's going to happen for you at IML SOAR. So guys, I really appreciate you for getting on. Don't want to hold up the rest of your night. The last thought that I want to give you guys before you hop off is this: you will experience that in which you deeply convince yourself you deserve. So ask yourself, what do you believe you deserve, right? Ask yourself, what do you believe you deserve, whether it's trading, building, both, physical life, spiritual life, whatever life. Ask yourself, what are you convinced that you deserve? And that is what you see today. So start deserving more. And in order to feel like you deserve more, you got to go out and you got to do more. So Luke, appreciate you. Just through the Gold Rush chat into our Facebook page. Guys, show love on that. And Luke puts out, his Facebook. He's got his Instagram. Show love on all the social media handles. This is complete cross-line love. And I'm so grateful for it. So love you, Luke. Appreciate you. And 1% movement. Let's get some gold trades rocking.